Rain slammed against the windows of the small coffee shop, blurring the city lights outside. It was one of those nights where the sky seemed to weep endlessly, dark, heavy, and merciless. Inside, most customers had already left, eager to get home before the storm worsened. Only Ethan Hayes, the owner, remained behind the counter, cleaning up for the night. He was about to flip the sign to close when the door creaked open. A woman stepped in, soaked, shivering, clutching the hand of a little girl no older than 6. "Please, just a few minutes inside," she whispered, her voice trembling as much as her hands. "We'll be quiet, we just need to warm up." Ethan paused. The sight was heartbreaking. The woman's clothes were drenched, her face pale with exhaustion, and her daughter's tiny body was wrapped in a thin blanket that did little to protect her from the cold. "Of course," he said softly. "Come in. Sit near the heater." He quickly grabbed 2 clean towels and handed them over. "I'll get you both something warm to drink." The woman hesitated, as if afraid he might change his mind, then whispered a shaky, "Thank you." Ethan returned a few minutes later with 2 mugs of hot chocolate. The little girl's eyes sparkled as she took a sip, her lips finally forming a small smile. "What's your name, sweetheart?" Ethan asked. "I'm Lily," she replied shyly. "And this is my mommy." The woman gave a faint smile. "I'm Grace." Ethan nodded. "I'm Ethan. You both look like you've had a rough night." Grace looked down, tightening her grip around her daughter. We left home," she murmured. He didn't cry. Instead, he said, "You're safe here. Take your time." As the clock ticked past midnight, Ethan noticed the way Grace's eyes kept darting toward the window, as if expecting someone to appear. "Is someone looking for you?" he asked gently. Her shoulders stiffened. "My husband," she whispered. "He wasn't a kind man." Ethan's heart sank. He'd seen that look before, fear mixed with guilt and exhaustion. He'd volunteered at shelters years ago, he knew the signs. Grace finally opened up after a long silence. Her husband, Daniel, had once been charming, a successful real estate agent who promised her the world. But once she got pregnant, everything changed. The smiles disappeared, replaced by shouting, control, and cruelty. When Lily was born, the abuse worsened. Grace endured it for years, believing things would get better. But last week, Daniel had raised his hand to Lily. That was the breaking point. She'd packed a small bag, grabbed her daughter, and left in the middle of the night. "We've been sleeping in bus stations and parks," Grace said, her voice cracking. "Every shelter we went to was full. Tonight, I didn't know where else to go." Ethan's chest tightened. Lily had fallen asleep on the chair, her small head resting on the table. Grace looked at her daughter, tears glistening in her eyes. "She's all I have. I can't let him find us." Ethan leaned forward, his voice calm and steady. "He won't. Not here." Ethan locked up the cafe and turned back to them. "You can stay here tonight," he said. "I've got a spare room upstairs." Grace shook her head immediately. "We can't impose." "You're not," he interrupted. "It's just one night. Tomorrow, we'll figure something out." Her lips trembled. "Why would you help us? You don't even know us." Ethan smiled faintly. "Because someone once helped me when I had nowhere to go." He handed her a small key and pointed to the stairs. "There's a clean bed and a shower upstairs. Rest. We'll talk in the morning." As Grace carried Lily upstairs, she looked back at him and whispered, "Thank you, I don't know how to repay you." He smiled softly. "You already have. By trusting me." When Ethan woke up, the storm had passed. Sunlight poured into the cafe, warming the wooden floors. Grace and Lily were already awake. Lily was sitting at the counter, giggling as she stirred pancake batter, while Grace helped Ethan prepare breakfast. For the first time, Grace looked relaxed. The dark circles under her eyes were still there, but her smile, though small, was genuine. "Ethan," she said as they sat to eat, "I can't thank you enough. But we can't stay. Daniel might." Ethan interrupted softly, "You don't have to rush. I can help you find a safe place, a shelter for mothers, or maybe a small job until you're ready." Grace looked at him, eyes wide. "You'd really do that?" "I meant what I said last night," he replied. "You're not alone anymore." Days turned into weeks. Grace started working part-time at Ethan's cafe, helping with baking and managing orders. She had a gentle touch with customers, and Lily quickly became the shop's little mascot, charming everyone with her laughter. Business started to pick up. More people came in daily, drawn by Grace's kindness and Ethan's quiet warmth. In time, the cafe became known as Lily's Corner. Ethan had renamed it secretly as a surprise, unveiling the new sign one morning. Grace cried when she saw it. "You didn't have to," he smiled. "I wanted to. This place saved me once, too." One evening, Grace finally asked about his past. Ethan told her that 5 years ago, he had lost his wife and unborn child in a car accident. The grief had almost destroyed him. He'd closed himself off from everyone. The cafe was the only thing that kept him going. One night, an old man came in during a storm, Ethan said. "I was bitter, angry at the world. But he looked at me and said, 'When you've lost everything, the only way to heal is to give.'" He smiled faintly. "That's when I started helping people. One cup of coffee at a time." Grace reached across the table and gently held his hand. "You gave us more than coffee, Ethan. You gave us hope." But their peace didn't last forever. One afternoon, as Grace was wiping tables, she froze. Outside the cafe window, a black SUV slowed down. Inside sat a man she recognized instantly, Daniel. Her heart stopped. Before she could move, the door burst open, and Daniel stormed in. "Grace, you think you can run from me?" Lily, who had been drawing in the corner, screamed. Ethan stepped between them immediately. "You need to leave. Now. This is my wife," Daniel shouted. "And my kid." "Not anymore," Ethan said firmly. "You lost that right the moment you hurt them." Daniel lunged forward, but Ethan caught his arm. "The police are already on their way," he said calmly. "You have two choices. Leave, or be dragged out." For a tense moment, no one breathed. Then sirens wailed outside. Daniel's face twisted with rage as officers entered and arrested him on the spot. As they took him away, Grace collapsed, sobbing. Ethan knelt beside her and whispered, "It's over. You're safe now." After the arrest, things slowly began to change. Grace found peace in the little routines of cafe life, baking muffins with Lily in the morning, laughing with regulars, and sharing quiet dinners with Ethan. Lily began school nearby, and every day, she'd run into the cafe shouting, "Uncle Ethan, we got stars today." Ethan would laugh, pretending to be amazed every time. It wasn't long before Grace realized that Ethan had become more than a savior, he'd become their family. One night, as they closed up the cafe, Grace looked at Ethan, tears glimmering in her eyes. "Ethan, I never imagined we'd have a home again," she whispered. "We used to have nowhere to go. But now," he smiled softly, finishing her thought. "You do, now." She stepped closer, her voice trembling. "You've given us a new life." Ethan shook his head gently. "No, Grace, you gave me one." Their hands met across the counter, not in desperation, but in quiet understanding. For the first time in years, both of them felt something they thought was lost forever, belonging. A year later, Lily's Corner Cafe was thriving. There were photos of smiling customers on the walls, fresh flowers on every table, and a warmth that made strangers feel at home the moment they walked in. Grace had become Ethan's partner, in business and in life. They weren't rushing anything, but everyone who visited the cafe could see the unspoken bond between them. Lily had her own corner with a chalkboard that read, "Greater than, this cafe is for anyone who needs a place to feel safe." And underneath it, a small drawing of 3 stick figures holding hands, labeled Mommy, Ethan, and me. One cold winter evening, a young man entered the cafe, soaked, shivering, and lost. Grace looked at him kindly and said, "Come in. You can sit near the heater." Ethan smiled as he handed the man a cup of coffee. When the man whispered, "I have nowhere to go," Ethan's reply came softly, the same words that once changed everything.